Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. You have a very tired Wayne, but Wayne is dedicated. Wayne is dedicated. Sixers go on to be 4-0 on his road trip. This is a pretty it's pretty good considering the teams that they're facing are decent, but most of the teams they're facing on this road trip has been struggling. But the Sixers have been handling business. Embiid was Embiid. He got in a little foul trouble tonight. Maxey, Harden, Shake had a good night. It's a good team win for the Sixers. The Sixers got off to an early start, and I kind of feel like they took the foot off the pedal. What's up, Scenarios? What's going on? You dedicated. You here with me? I appreciate it. All the rest of your 5 of y'all that's watching too. I see you out there. I appreciate y'all being up here with me. So since I'm on the solo, this is the night where we can talk. So I'm I'm feeling good about this team. In all honesty, when this road trip started, I said that I thought that they could go 4-1, but I thought realistically, like not to have unrealistic expectations. I didn't want to feel like a homer or something, so I said I would be happy with 3-2. They already got 4 wins. The LA and Jazz was tight to start off, but the Sixers are handling business. Niang is coming in and hitting quality buckets at the end of the game. We see Maxey. Maxey off that bench. What do you say, Scenario? Suns is up 7 with 14 seconds left. Okay, that's a wrap. I'll take that. Golden State, Ephraim. Why he ain't on here? Because if Golden State would have handled their business, we could have inched a little bit closer to Boston. But I guess Chef wasn't cooking. That's why he's not in here. But no, Ty, I agree. That was a good win. Now I think not tomorrow, the next game, the game against the Kings, I thought that this would be the one that might be. The Kings are a young team. These 3 teams, they just face more veteran teams. I think there's more a better fit for the Sixers to go against the veteran teams, but these younger teams that rip and run up and down the court. Sacramento is one of those, but I still think we're gonna handle business. But I do think it's tricky just because I believe after that Sacramento trip, we come home and play the Nets. So hopefully the Sixers not looking at that last game of the trip and thinking like, you know what, we did pretty good. We won 4 already and kind of mail it in. But I don't see that from this Sixers team. I'm saying that I hope that they don't do that in this final game, like kind of try to coast, but they seem what's the word I'm looking for? They seem focused. The Sixers team seems focused. So hey, Jimmy J, 9 rebounds for Embiid, unacceptable. I hear you. Do you want your center down there getting more rebounds? But it is something to that too, because if he's outside and taking more outside shots, he's also being double teamed, triple teamed anytime a rebound go up. So I think that adds to why Harden or even some of the guards get more floorboards, because it's like the bodies. I mean, think about it. If you're going up against the Sixers and the shot goes up, who you think they're trying to box out to make sure they don't get on the rebounds. And that's why that PJ Tucker position is so crucial, because if you're going to try to double Embiid out of that paint, then on the rebounds, then somebody got to get them rebounds. So, but yes, Melton did have a good bounce back game. And this is what PJ is going to be, classic. I don't see PJ. This is what we're going to get. This is $10 million a year. This is what we're going to have for the next couple of years. I mean, unless some kind of way we able to get it out. But like Sam's to community said, glad PJ ain't in there closing. Ain't in that closing lineup. So, and I did agree. Doc, low key, Doc has been making some nice moves, because and Sam just pointed that out, how he had Matisse in there, and Matisse was in there for some minutes, and then he brought Melton back in. I think Doc is getting the feel for it. He looks like he's doing a little bit different from what he had been doing and what he'd been used to doing. So I gotta give Doc a little bit of props of what's going on. Jimmy J's second best team in the East at the moment. I mean, I kind of agree with you. As it is right now, the Nets without KD, the Bucks going through what they going through. Now, if you talk about everybody full strength, I still might agree with you. I still might agree with you because if we talk about full strength, you talking about Maxey. I think it's outstanding that Maxey went to Doc and said, "I'll be willing to come off the bench." Doc wasn't being stubborn and saying he wasn't going to bring him off the bench, but this is what some of us have been saying since last year. This is what some of us were saying last year, that maybe bring Maxey, and everybody think that it's such a slight and such a disrespect to Maxey. Oh, Maxey, he's up next. How dare you bring Maxey off the bench? But I mean, look at it. Maxey and this is what I was saying last year. Maxey gets to come in off the bench and play against the other team's bench and gets to, like, he comes in with a full clip. This is your offense to run. This is the same thing like you had when you had Lou Will or what's the other boy name? That was my man too. Crawford, all the best 6 men, guys that win 6 men a year. I mean, even what's his name over there in Utah? They come off the bench and they squeeze. You don't have to worry about trying to make sure B get his touches, Harden get his touches, Toby get his touches. It's like when you come in off the bench, you go for it. And it kind of carry over to Shake too. It looks like Shake is getting comfortable with being kind of in that role too. Of course, he don't got the Maxey green light, but Shake not looking shook. No, I agree. Maxey can come in there and get you. Yeah, Jamar, I love Maxey off the bench right now, and he can. Maxey can come in and get you 10 points real quick. Look at that. Like, look at that run, like that stretch we had. Like, first of all, that one play, it's like, touch and go. Portland trying to get back in the game, this, that, and other. It's like they teeter. It's like right there where you feel like if Portland can get over the hump, the Sixers might be in for a little bit of a struggle. Toward the end of the game in the fourth. Harden threw Maxey got that ball down there and put that shot up. Like, he got that's that speed, like he shot out of a cannon. And then it was like, even with Shake, I think it was wasn't at the end of was that the end of the quarter? I know it was the end of the shot clock. Yeah, it was the end of the quarter, and it was like because they fouled Maxey with the 4 seconds left, like thinking the Sixers not going to get a shot off. Shake was calm, cool, collected, took the little pump fake, and then slithered his way in and got a finish. So I like the way the Sixers looking, and Niang looks comfortable. Niang is coming off the bench. You know what I'm noticing and what I'm liking about Niang though? Niang is not just, I mean, he is a spot up shooter, but Niang, if you look, Niang will like do a pump fake and then take a step over and then shoot. Like last year, he was more like just Niang was just stuck to the floor at that spot, and that's where he was going to shoot from that spot. He actually can move a little bit now. You could tell he lost that weight. He moved a little bit now, and then he put that shot up, put them shots up, and he's hitting. And when the Sixers role players are shooting and hitting, I think they beat anybody. When you got Embiid playing, if Embiid's playing his game and the Sixers shooters are hitting, the Sixers got numerous players that's shooting pretty well from 3. I meant to pull that up and look at it. Yeah, Dave, that was a big basket by Shake. Let me ask y'all, what y'all think about Dame? Like, what do y'all think about Dame? Like with the whole well, first, Dave, I still want Paul Reed to get more minutes. I think it's more of an upside with Paul Reed, but Trez, it's hard to argue that when Trez is in there. Trez balling. I mean, I just hope that Doc is flexible enough that if something's not working, try the young bull and let him get in there. Let the young bull try to run. Let Reed try to run and not have him on a short leash. The same way you let these veterans go and and get him enough rope to do whatever you let PJ run out there and do whatever he's going to do. So, but I was saying, what y'all think about Dame? Like with his whole want to stay with Portland thing. You think he like kind of goofy with it, or do you think it's honorable? Like, what do y'all think about Dame staying in Portland and like saying like he want to ride it out and finish his career out there? Yeah, Isaiah Thibault was he was on Dame. He was. They made it difficult for him. I agree, Charlie. I was thinking. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because I was thinking that same thing. Charlie said he think Harden matches up with Embiid better than Dame would. I agree. And for a stretch last year, I was like, I could take either one, and I thought Dame was more attainable because Harden was, in Brooklyn and everything else. But I think Harden might be the perfect complement for Embiid. For one, he can carry the scoring load at times. Harden's shot looks much more comfortable now. Harden looks healthy. He looks comfortable with his shot. He don't look like he's trying to aim his shots. It's free flowing. And Harden had a big basket going to like driving to the basket and finishing. Like certain times, it seems like the Sixers are coming up with good baskets, timely baskets. They're doing a lot of timely baskets. So hopefully they continue to do that. I still don't think that Harden's offense is complete trash. I don't think if you're talking about Harden, I don't think Harden's offense is great by any stretch, but I don't think it's complete trash. It's like even on like if he gets his hand on a lot of passes. When the bigger guys try to go in there and body up on Harden, for the most part, Harden will stand him up. You're not just going to back him down and do whatever. So I don't think that Harden's no defensive player of the year by any stretch, but that's just like he's had a game where he had like a bunch of steals and stuff like that. So, Hart at this point, I'll tell you what, Harden's about the money, and I'm not mad at him. You at this point in your career, this is probably your last chance to get a big payday. He's gonna he's gonna want to get paid, and depending on how the Sixers play in the playoffs, it depends on if he's worth getting paid or not. I agree, Dave. Harden is like the old head school and the young bucks. Sams, you said I'm starting to think that James can age. What you say? Starting to think James can age on this team, especially with the new pace of play. Him and JoJo can be legit for you. I agree. You know what? That's a good point because to me, in my opinion, you know how when people talk about the pace, because we see a lot of younger teams. First of all, if you really look at it, most teams, the young teams, usually aren't the ones that's winning championships or even going to the championships. Not saying you don't have some young players, but usually it's veteran teams. In the playoffs, things slow down. So I think the Sixers style of play is more indicative of playoff basketball play. And the Sixers can get out and run. Like you see when they come in and they have that younger lineup, their bench come in, they do a lot more running around, moving, this, that, and other. But when you got Harden in there, Harden and Embiid, it's like Harden's the general. And that's another reason why I think that Maxey is good with coming off the bench or good for coming off the bench, because then when Maxey is in there, he can rip and run up and down the court. He don't have to play at that pace. You get the and even when he's in there with Joe and James, it's like if they get the rebound, they kick it out and he's running. So yeah, Isaiah, there is some exceptions to that because Golden State was fairly young when they went to their first one, weren't they? I'm guessing that they were because look at how many years that they was doing it. So I think Golden State was a fairly young team, but a lot of times it's veteran. I remember I was looking up something and was saying how it was talking about the average ages, like the ages of teams that win, and it's not really a lot of young ones. That's why when you see teams like OKC, like the new OKC, how they are now, I say probably give them. I think they could make the playoffs this year, but I think when you start He might have been focusing on Embiid a little bit too much, but I mean, Embiid was cooking. So, but I think OKC, they got a lot of young talent, and you know how that usually is. You got to get your feet wet. You know what I mean? You take a couple lumps from the old head teams. I think it does OKC very well to make the playoffs this year because they got some young talent on that team. They're making some noise now. You know what I mean? They got teams taking notice a little bit now, and they still got all those draft picks. I think they got like 7 number 1 draft picks over the next 3 years or something like that. So OKC is definitely in the prime position to be that next young team up. But it usually takes them, and they probably going to have to bring. Well, by the time they up and ready, Alexander might be a vet by then. You know, that's just like with the Sixers. I think they might be able to be up now. They got the vets on their team now, you know, to mix in with it. Brooklyn brought their vets in. The Bucks had their share of vets. You know, Boston had their share of vets. Boston had a young core though. Boston might be one of. I mean, they didn't win it, but Boston one of them younger teams. But what's up, Trendsetter? You know, I'm just trying to hold it down. What's going on with reading? But see, I don't. I hear what you're saying about the rebounds, but I don't. This is the way he plays, and he plays outside a lot and on the perimeter a lot because he hits a lot of those mid-range shots. If you're taking those shots, for the most part, when the shots go up, they're looking to block Embiid out. And would you rather Embiid be fighting to get inside on all of those offensive rebounds, or do like he does, which is starts to fall back on defense to try to keep the other teams? I think earlier in the season, Embiid was going for the rebounds more, and we was getting beat more on the fast breaks. Then we was getting beat down the court, and it was like about the rotation, the defensive rotation, we not getting back. Look how many times Embiid does get back now. And then on the defensive end, Embiid runs and plays defense. How many times he go and do help defense? You know, you go run and you do help defense, rebounds come down. That's why other guys got to get rebound. I think that's why the Sixers, it's imperative that they get more rebounding from the power forward. What I like for my center, I mean, Embiid is averaging like 10 rebounds, I think. But would I like for him to get more rebounds? Yeah. But maybe one of the reasons why he don't get as many rebounds because he shoots at a high clip. Maybe some of the other big men get their own rebounds when they miss them. No, but I mean, it's a fair thing to say that you would want your center that get to have more rebounds. I can agree with that. But like I said, if we're winning, you know, how many teams have a point guard averaging like 8 rebounds a game? He was at one point. I don't know if he's still averaging like that now. And I think, like I said, I think a lot of those rebounds go to him because B getting so much attention. So. Charlie I think Embiid is due for a rest day. Him tripping over his feet. Listen, with them legs, listen, that's a big man. That's a big man and doing a lot of running. After a while, them legs start getting tired. That's why a lot of these dudes in the NBA do load management days and stuff like that. And I get it as fans. You know, we feel like you want to see him play every time it's time for a game. But if we being realistic, you know, them legs get tired. But you saying Embiid be on the 3-point? This is what I don't understand. Why is everybody so fascinated and upset that Embiid be out at the 3-point line? Do you not realize that he can take the guy off the? They run the. This is where they run the pick and roll starting from. You need space to run that pick and roll. That's called floor spacing. It's not like he's back there shooting 10 threes a game. He's starting off back there. This is where that pick and roll, him starting back there, when him and Harden do the pick and roll, now the defense has to decide if they're going to double down on Harden when that separation is made, or if they're going to worry about Embiid. When they step to Harden, B flashes down the middle and he's getting these dunks. Remember, B wasn't getting these dunks and stuff like that off of no pick and rolls. It used to be pick and pops more, but they're spacing. Harden is getting him easy dunks now. And then if you drop down to play both of them, you kick it out on the wings and you get shooters. That's floor spacing. What's up, Baz? Did they take the number 2 scenario? Oh, hold up, Dag. I was just trying to read something. Y'all got them joined. I appreciate y'all with the conversation popping because My boys did me dirty tonight. A legend, Harden. You ain't see Harden hit that floater today? He hit that thing to seal the game in the game today. And I think that comes along with, listen, I'm not sitting here and trying to say the Sixers don't have flaws or things like that. And that's cool. That's what we do. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm not mad at anybody saying what things we need to work on and fix, because this is what you're supposed to be doing during the season, fixing the things you need to fix and work on. But everybody can't be everything. I mean, and what I mean by that is, okay, that's like Joker. You look at Joker and Embiid, the two best big men in the game right now. In my opinion, Joker is a better offensive game because he has better floor vision, handle, and he gets, I think he's like one more rebound per game than Embiid. Joker don't get 12 rebounds a game. Are we saying Joker need to rebound more? I mean, even though he getting like triple doubles out there. See, sometimes we look at our own players and we be ready to rip our own players and because we see them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of like your own kid. If you training your own kid, you get to see the flaws up close. Excuse me. You get to see all the flaws up close, whereas though you just seeing highlights of these other guys and you see them doing all that. But that being said, if I got to choose between Joker and Embiid, I see the defense that Embiid plays and the impact that he does on the floor. I'm taking Joe. I'm taking Joe over Joker. As of right now, that's how I feel. So, yeah, hey Clarence, Harden hit the floater, and I agree with you about the step back. He's hitting that step back, that mid-range step back, because, and I know any of y'all out there that's a little older and your legs start getting tired, or you have stuff like maybe your knees bother you and stuff like that. The biggest problem I know for me was stop and go. It ain't necessarily about having the speed to run and stuff like that, but it's the stop and go. You know what I'm saying? Or the just mainly the stopping. So it looks like Harden, like his legs look so much better now playing, because it's like you see he's doing that stop and go, like Clarence said, he's stopping and doing the mid-range, step back. Like that's I think is evident that Harden is healthy right now. I'm not even going to hate on what Joker getting, because Joker doing his thing. I'm not going to hate on Joker triple doubles, Isaiah. But my thing is, put it this way: we'll see what happens when they go face to face, when they play one up against each other. B to stop Joker before Joker stops B, in my opinion. Especially B playing at this level, B at this level and Joker at this level. I've seen games where Draymond Green put the clamps on Joker. I don't think I've ever seen Draymond not going to put the clamps on Embiid. I agree, Marcus. Harden does have his burst back. And scenario is, yes, we need a strong rebounding power forward who plays defense, even if I agree. And this is what I thought we was getting with PJ. I was thinking nothing else. We gonna get this gritty dude that can hit an occasional open shot. I don't even care if he does, though. I'm not gonna say that. But if he can rebound and he's powerful and he can dunk, I can see him in the dunker spot, or even playing out when Embiid and Harden run the pick and roll. Then he can just be just outside the dunker spot and drop down to get rebounds or whatever else. I mean, I don't know how that will work with spacing, but it's kind of sort of like how Ben would be in the dunker spot. Like I see PJ in that dunker spot a lot of times, and like with B would catch it up top and then drop it down there to him, and then he got to like try to shoot it over top of a taller player. Whereas though, if you have a dude that's that can dunk, like you give him that thing in the dunker spot, he gonna dunk it. Hey X-Man, I appreciate it, bro. I'm trying. Listen. Y'all just don't know. I ain't been asleep since 9 o'clock. I woke up. I came home yesterday and I fell asleep too early. I woke up at 9 o'clock, 9:45 last night, and I ain't been back to sleep yet. So, but I was watching the game. I ate a little grub. I was starting to look. You see my eyes. I'm trying not to look, like I was doing something I wasn't supposed to be doing, but I'm tired. But I'm having fun though. I'm on here talking with y'all about it because it was a good game. It was a fun game to watch. But but no, I definitely appreciate it, all the love and stuff. So y'all, hey, listen, y'all do me a favor. since they don't want to come in here, let me get as many thumbs up as I can. I want this to be one of the most liked videos that we have in a quick, short period of time, so I can say, see, y'all should have been on here. See, the fans appreciate it. So hit that like button for me. Let's see if we let's see if we can't give me something so that I could troll them tomorrow. Oh yeah. Oh. Listen, hey Zay, I got 2 little kids. I know about melatonin. I know about melatonin. Yeah, Sam's. Let's get them thumbs out. Share the video around. Tell them, man, get some people, even if it's people you know that don't even watch the show now. Get them to put some thumbs up on that thing. I want as many likes as we could get, so I can sit there and troll them. I want to troll them so bad, because guess what? You know, Ephraim was on there watching that. You know, he was watching that Golden State game. Oh, chef, you know, he ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? You know. Tim have his little things to say here and there. It's all that. But all of a sudden, it started getting real quiet as the Sixers game went on. And I knew it. But I will get Tim props. Tim set everything up. And that's the other way I knew. He had everything set up. Because, you know, I do have it. Once he have it set up, I could come up in here and just hop on there. I was like, okay. I got a feeling. Then nobody want to answer. Where my phone at? Ain't nobody. They still ain't answering me. Nope. Ain't nobody still answering. And you know how on the WhatsApp they show you the little check marks. You know somebody read it. I know you read it. I know y'all read it. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, scenario. Go to state laws, and Ephraim just curled up, sucked his thumb, started crying on the pillow. You know the meme with wasn't it Anthony Anderson when he crying for Blackish, when he crying on the pillow. That's Ephraim right now. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, and then Ben Simmons got ejected. Oh, Tim was probably watching that game, and he was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna fall back tonight." And they probably gonna be up like 6 o'clock in the morning on my polo. Early bird get the worm. That's what they want to say. They wake up early in the morning. Early bird get the worm, but the late bird make it great. I'm up late and I'm making it great. No early bird. I'm up earlier than all y'all. I'm tripping. I'm tired. But no, but I was asking y'all earlier though, right? About yeah, oh yeah, Zach. This is what I'm saying. People could talk all you want about Kyrie, and I respect Kyrie. Kyrie got game. You say what you want with Kyrie and Ben Simmons and all this other stuff. That team is KD's team. KD is that superstar. And if you think about it, when KD was hurt and Harden was over there, Harden had that team balling. So that just shows those are those type of players. That's those are those type. Can y'all still hear me? It said my speaker disconnected. I don't know if I'm still on or not. All right, cool. So those are the type of games, the type of players that are like big time players. Wanted to, he wanted to be the man on the team and everything else. Ooh. How'd that work out when he went to Boston? How'd that work out when he's with the Nets by himself? So, but that's why I say Harden with X-Men, without KD or Kyrie. I put it this way: when Kyrie was in Cleveland, Cleveland still was a lottery pick. Cleveland was still a lot. Yeah. Lauren Lucas, you're right. Go Cowboys, go home. Go home, Roger. Cowboys. I ain't gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna talk about that right now. I ain't worried about the Cowboys. You got our eyes set on the Giants. Cowboys worry about San Francisco. That's all. You just worry about that. But I really do like how Embiid and Harden is paired. This is what I envisioned that it would be when they got here last year. So, but injuries or whatever. I think soon you're going to see Embiid or Harden sit a game or two out. Well, Harden might not, because Harden just came back from being out for a while. But I can see Embiid getting some little management days coming up soon. And conformist, I hope they can keep it up in the playoffs too. And that's why I'm saying I'm not mad at if Embiid sits. I know
I give Embiid credit. Like you're not hearing him talk a whole lot about MVP, this, that, and the other. And I think that's part of the maturity process. I think that's part of why you bring OGs in here that come in here and they focusing more on that, like the team winning and stuff. And I think that's good for him. I think those old heads was good for bringing him in here. Kind of tough and beat up some, but he looks more dedicated. So I'm not opposed to having him. I think you're going to need to give him some kind of load management days soon. Because like what man said about him tripping over his own feet, that's that stuff when your legs start getting tired. But he in there putting up work. So Phil W says staying in Portland is cool. Remember he has a wife and kids. That's true. I mean, matter of fact, shout out to my son, DJ. I don't know if he was actually at the game tonight. He moved out. He moved out that way not too long ago. I wish he would have told me he was going to the game. I might have tried to scrape up some airplane ticket around out there and watch the game with him. Son, you were supposed to tell me if you was going to do it. But maybe if he's still out there by next year, next season or whatever, I'll definitely make that trip to do that. But he sent me a picture of him up in the stands and stuff. That was pretty cool. It's cool when you see your kids grow up and start being grown ups on their own. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Make you proud, but also make you feel old. But Dame, see that this is my thing with Dame. Now, I'm fine with what Dame doing. Is Portland going to be that? So is Portland going to do like how Harden wants that money, right? I don't know how long Dame's contract is. Is Portland going to be willing, even if Dame like starting to dwindle down, but Dame still want to play and this, that, and other? Is Portland going to say, "Oh, well, you gave us so many years, we going to pay you just to be here because you family"? Think Portland to do that? Yeah, A Sergeant Bass. You need a super pause on that. But I'm glad Dame did choose not to come to the Sixers. So I mean, honestly, and the other person that I was thinking that I wanted the Sixers to get was Bradley Beal. It looked like he can't stay healthy either. So I'm fine with what we gave up for Harden. But I mean, I guess I could see Dame just being. I'm not gonna hate on Dame wanting to stay in Portland if you content your life there, you happy there, your family, your kids grew up there, and everything. That's I'm not mad at that. But and that's what I'm saying. Nonconformist. These players, and this one I'm never mad. I'm never mad at a player. Like even at Harden. Like if Harden was to say, he wanted to get paid money, he keep playing like this, and he said he want to get paid big money, and they like, nah, we don't want to pay you that money. I'm not mad at Harden if he wants to go elsewhere. I'm not. That's the game. Like these dudes, and I'm not sitting here saying that like they making chump change and they can't handle. But if you got a chance to get your last big NBA paycheck, get it. You know what I'm saying? Like what's wrong with these dudes wanting to build up and have wealth that maybe they can pass on to their kids? I don't know if Harden got kids or not. I know he's doing a lot, ripping and running up in the shaky butts. So I mean, I don't know if he got kids or not, but he might have family that he's trying to help take care of anything else. So I'm not mad at anybody because it's a business. It is a business, and in sports they're going to use you until they can't use you no more. So I'm never mad at any player that's trying to get what they feel is what they feel their worth is. They're the ones that's putting in that work and getting themselves in shape. Listen, I'm out of shape now. I'll be sitting there looking like I weight sitting down there in the basement. I'll be sitting there looking at them joints like I used to work out all the time, play all kinds of sports. I don't even like doing it. Yeah, he is the king of them joints, Charlie L. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, Baz. I'm not mad at dudes trying to get that generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe hey, listen. I hope some of my investments and endeavors could get to the point someday that things last long enough that my kids can be taken care of like that. So, Trent Sonny, yes, I absolutely think we could beat the Bucks. We already beat them this year. I believe we already beat them early on. The problem against the Bucks though is going to be PJ. PJ's going to be the problem because I don't think that PJ as he is right now, and I'm not. And this is why I don't like to come off like I hate PJ because I really don't. PJ, he really is out there trying. You know what I'm saying? And in the city of Philadelphia, you know how we feel about that. Like you got to show effort. I do think that PJ's showing effort. I just don't think that he's physically capable anymore. So I mean, that's my thing with PJ. And it's like, I know y'all paying him that money, but if you have a better option, run the better option out there. Oh, the Celtics. I'm definitely worried about this. Celtics put a whooping on it. The Celtics put a whooping on us last year for the playoffs, and then the Celtics put a whooping on us this year. It was the first game of the year. Six is a little bit different team now. Embiid was kind of injured then. Remember, you forget at the beginning of the year they said how they didn't tell us at first, but then after some games in, they said how Embiid still had a nagging injury from the off season and stuff that looks like it's fixed and healed now. Doc was still trying to figure out people roles and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see what happens when we face them. When we face Boston again. Oh yeah, and Isaiah, he shouldn't have been out there in the fourth quarter. PJ should not ever be out there in the fourth quarter. I'm I'm about to say I'd rather see the Yankees. I actually think, listen, I think Doc is doing an excellent job with the lineups. On this road trip, I think Doc has done better than Doc usually does with the lineups. I think he's been real solid with that, and hopefully that keeps that he keeps that up. I do think that the C's are a tough matchup for us, but I think that our bench is better this year. I think that we have some tougher players this year, and I think that that's like against Miami and Boston. I think that was issues that's why you never know. Like PJ right now is not looking good, but you never know in the playoffs. The old head might be the one to come through a game or two where he give you that grit. You know what I'm saying, and make it hard for somebody to ball against us. So I mean, he's here, he's on the team, but I mean, hopefully he can contribute. And it wouldn't be so bad if he would hit just them wide open threes, like just hit them. You know. But oh yeah, I definitely need Doc to perform in the playoffs too. Doc, to me, to me, Doc's biggest problem is adaptability and making adjustments. So while I'm encouraged during this regular season, we're seeing Doc make adjustments. Now he just needs to do it in the midst of a series. But think about how many times, think about how begrudgingly he put Paul Reed in there instead of DeAndre Jordan. Remember how he was trying to hold on to Fidel, DeAndre Jordan? He got mad at the press and was arguing at the press, ready to cuss him out because they were saying DeAndre Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan stunk. DeAndre Jordan was stinking it up. And he put Paul Reed in there, and he better than DeAndre Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Doc is the same person, whereas though with the other stuff that he would snap, but you see him making adjustments now. Even the whole thing with Maxey coming off the bench, the fact that PJ is not getting as many minutes as he was. Doc I remember when Doc was running Mike Scott out there as the backup center instead of putting Reed or Bradley in the game. Like why are you running this old washed up undersized guy as a center? But it was because he was a vet. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. But to me, Doc seems like he's making those adjustments. He's making more adjustments now. Well, Doc did say Maxey off the bench. He said that I believe he said it depends on the matchups, and that actually is encouraging to me too. Because once again, if Doc is saying, like I think he said, there's 3 different starting lineups depending on the matchup. To me, that's being adaptable. You know what I'm saying? That's saying, okay, when we face these lineups, this is who we need to counter that. That's coaching to me. So that has me a little bit more optimistic about the playoffs. The whole way that they're carrying themselves right now has me optimistic about the playoffs. But we still got like half a season to go, so who knows what can happen? Something can happen and they hit some bumps in the road and things go wayward. But right now, they seem like they're more mature. They seem like they're focused. And somebody mentioned it earlier today. They said something about trading Toby. I'm still not opposed to trading Toby, but you have to give me a drastic upgrade. I'm tired of every season under Brett Brown, and even matter of fact, like our last 7 years or something like that. Let me say this: our last few years of making playoff runs. Every year around the trade deadline, we're trying to make a big trade to upgrade something, and then after we make the trade, like when we got Tobias and we got Toby and Jimmy. Remember it was like, oh, this they only played so many games together. It's going to be this, that. You know what I'm saying? When we got Harden, well, they only played so many games together. They got to start playing together more. This, that. It's always something like that. I would like to see a situation if everybody's playing together solidly and everybody understands the system, everybody knows their role. Let's line it up. And conforms you saying nobody wants Toby. I don't necessarily think that's true. I think Toby. I think that teams around the league think that Toby's a solid player. And next year is his last year on the contract. So even if you take on that contract, it's an expiring contract. So after next year, you're not under that contract. So, but see, again, it's things that we did, and this is some of the things, right? Now we've had these conversations, right? We had some of these. You're right, Baz. He's been around. Toby has definitely been around the league, but he does have some work. You know what I'm saying? Remember, so a lot of us are here were saying Ben Simmons ain't got no work, and some people wanted Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? They still pulled his Harden. So, but I think some of the things as a sports fan, right? We have one is like if somebody's drafted, like Ben. Ben was drafted number one, right? So when you see Ben Simmons not living up to his capabilities or what you expected that he should have been, when Ben was with the Sixers, he played better than he's playing now. When Ben was with the Sixers, before he had that whole mental meltdown, he had a solid series against Washington. He was having a decent series against Atlanta until the foul trouble thing came, the foul shooting thing came. So I'm saying that to say sometimes we look at players and it's like you look at Ben and it's like he's a bum. He's a bum. He was the number one overall. You're right. He was the number one overall pick. And I'm talking about when he played with us, not when he played with Nets. But he did have value. It wasn't the complete value he should have gotten for that pick, but that happens all the time. Look at Wiggins. Look at Wiggins. All these years, Wiggins was being called a bust. He was the number one pick, but Wiggins is still balling. He's still serviceable on the team and could be a key component on the team. Baz, yeah, Ben is a bum now. I mean, you know why? And you know why I think he's a bum now? I think because he's complacent. He has this whole excuse now, so nobody can call him the carpet for just choking or for just being scared because now it's like he has this mental situation that he said he has. So you can't bully him and you can't say nothing. So now he can collect his money. They got to pay him. He can collect his money, but he doesn't have to do things that make him uncomfortable. You need to be uncomfortable to get better. You can't get better just staying in your comfort zone. You have to work on stuff. That's why we see like Embiid, his bag get bigger every year. He works on different things every year. Harden works on things every year. You see Maxey every year. He's working on something to add more stuff to his game. You gotta work for it. But see, Ben don't have to work because it's like everybody tell him he's good how he is. And, he's good how he is, even with he don't have to even work on his free throws and all that other type stuff. So, you know, and I've always thought my whole thing with Ben, I didn't need him shooting threes. I don't even need him shooting jump shots as much. But you have to be able to hit free throws if you're gonna play like that. Look at Giannis. Giannis don't shoot from outside or nothing else. Ben's nowhere near what Giannis is, but Giannis isn't afraid to shoot free throws. So Giannis will attack. Ben's biggest issue because he couldn't shoot free throws and he's scared to fail and be on the stage in front of everybody. He'd rather just don't shoot it because he don't want to get fouled. So, but I was saying about Toby. I was saying about just real quick, like some of the things that we do with our players. When somebody's drafted number one overall, when somebody gets a big contract, and it was another thing. Well, for Philly, if somebody don't hustle, see, if we feel like somebody's not hustling, it's a certain mindset you got to have playing in Philly. So I kind of understand that, but then too, because that's just like with the Phillies. I don't know if any of y'all follow baseball. Everybody used to love Chase Utley. Chase Utley, he the heart of the team. Chase Utley stayed getting hurt. Chase Utley was stayed in some kind of injury. His numbers was nowhere near what Jimmy Rollins' numbers was. But they couldn't stand Jimmy Rollins because, oh, you don't run the ball out the first place. You don't run it out the first base every time. Brian Howard, MVP, Rookie of the Year, home run leader, all the things, RBI leader for years. Oh, but see, he strike out. He's a bum. He's a bum. Just because somebody got a flaw in their game don't mean they're a bum, especially if they produce. I don't think that Toby's a bum. Toby's giving you like what 14, 15 points a game as the fourth best scorer. You think that's bad? Is it worth the money again? No, no, it's not. It's not worth the money. But he's bringing you something. So, non-conformance. That might have been part of it with Chase, but it wasn't that with just Chase. Because think about it. Cole Hamels was the one that won the World Series for us. He was dealing. And they hated on Cole Hamels so bad. They did. Remember the next year when he came back and he had a down year, they were talking about, oh, he did the chicken circuit. They was hating on Cole. Oh, because he got that California laissez-faire attitude. Yeah. Like sometimes that stuff don't matter, man. If somebody ball, when they ball, they ball. I don't care what somebody's demeanor was. Remember how some people used to hate on AI? Oh, see, because he out there and he drinking and then he this, that, and the other. That man balled when it came time to ball. It was somebody, I was looking at somebody on a podcast or something, and they said something about telling AI, yeah, you need to not don't go out and drink and stuff. Like, you got to take care of your body and go out and play. And he said something like AI didn't drink and something for like a couple games, and he had a real bad stretch and was thinking it up. And then he started drinking again, and he started dropping buckets again. So it's like, hey, that's what worked for that man. It's a shame because if he could have took better care of his body, who knows what he could have been. And that's my favorite player all time. But yeah, I'm talking y'all to death. But yeah, I X-Men, I agree. But and that's what I'm saying about the Cole Hamels thing. That's why I'm just saying I don't think that because non-conformance said about why Jimmy and Howard was hated on, but they love I'm forgetting his name already. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They love the other one, and it wasn't just because of skin color, because they hated on Cole too. Philly fans, and this is why I get what Philly like when Jimmy had said about Sixers, Philly fans being front runners. Like he came back and said he misrepresented. Like that's not what he meant. He didn't mean like we only down when the team is doing good. And you're right, X-Men. Some people was hating on Bryce. Bryce Harper putting in work. But this is what we do with Philly sometimes because a guy doesn't, and a lot of it sometimes for some reason with us, when a guy getting money, it irks us so bad. Man, all that money he getting and he missing these games. How dare he strike out once? He getting all this money. He getting all this money. He's supposed to be perfect. It don't work like that. And sometimes the players that we have and we be mad that he getting all that money, somebody, what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. That player go to another team, fit right in on that other team. Not saying we got to all be kumbaya and worship the ground they walk on or something, but sometimes we ain't got to be as hard on our own. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we ain't got to be as hard on them. Sometimes give them a break with certain stuff. Even though I do kind of like that. I like the idea that you have to have a certain toughness to play in Philly. And I actually think Philly fans have gotten fairer over the years because when Ben was here, we wasn't booing Ben. They try to make it like Philly fans broke Ben and did whatever it meant. Philly fans, when he was missing them free throws, I remember watching the game and I was surprised they was rooting for him. They was like, "Come on, Ben." I'm like, when we turn into this, that wasn't how Philly was. But they did that for Ben, and I think Philly fans, I think winning the World Series and then winning the Super Bowl kind of softened us as a fan base, but we still are demanding to a good extent, and expect more out of our players. Pocket watch? What you mean non-conformance about pocket watch? Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, talking about watching people money. This one, I don't care what somebody else getting paid. As long as what I'm getting paid, as long as I'm being taken care of and I'm happy with my situation, I don't care what that man get. That's what he's getting paid to do. That's up to his boss to determine if he's getting paid the right amount for it or not. And then they got to make this decision of what they're going to do with that. But X-Man, you know why the city loves TJ. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves. It's Rocky. I know for the most part, most Philadelphians love Rocky. I do too. You know, up until the last couple that was trash. I mean, not Creed. I'm talking about the actual Rockies. But Philly loves to be an underdog. That's how come when our team is balling and our team is winning in the first place, we say, "Oh, we really not as good." Look at the Eagles. You know, there's a lot of people like, I don't know about the Eagles. That's going to be a tough game. You know, we got to face them. We go, bro. Sometimes you are the better. Sometimes you're the alpha team. Sometimes you are the alpha. Now, if the Eagles go out there and they lose or whatever, then they choke, in my opinion, unless something drastic happened, injuries or something like that, because you should win. You're the alpha team. I remember when I used to play sports, I was playing football with this group, and our squad, like we ended up having one of the better teams, but most of the guys on my team was like in the Philly area, and they would sit there and they'd be like, yeah, see, nobody respect us, this, that, and other. And this was after we won a championship. I was like, y'all got to get out of that mindset. We won. We the alphas. Stop trying to be the underdog. We don't got to be the underdog in Philly. Stop trying to be the underdog. Be the alpha dog. That's a mindset. Guess what? If you got a team, you think Boston sitting over there wearing like, oh, I mean, you know, at any point in time, we could lose this. We could no. Boston feeling like they on the precipice of winning this thing, as they should. In football, I got people that sit there and say, well, San Fran, tough. If the Eagles got to play San Fran, that's going to be rough. Okay, San Fran's a good team, but the Eagles was beating everybody. They was beating everybody with their whole team. Sometimes just enjoy the fact that your team is the team. Enjoy the fact we in number 2 spot. So, later in my later years, I played defensive end and tight end and an occasional backup tackle. I did not like playing offensive line. I like playing tight end. I like blocking off the tight end, but I hate getting down there with them fat dudes. I hated going against the fat dudes. I'm a little faster than I may look, or I was a little faster than I look. But I'm gonna wrap it up. I've been on here long enough, but I definitely appreciate y'all, man. Y'all made this fun, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I was when I was setting up to come up in here, I was like, I'm tired. Come in here and do a couple minutes and roll. But y'all came in here, y'all showed you showed your boys some love. I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. If anytime, and I'm sorry, I meant to say this before. I have went to the Sixers game, the Pelicans game. My man Tim Robinson looked out, invited me to the game. I was down there, and one of the fans of the show came up to me and was like, "Yo, Wayne, what's up?" Like I enjoy watching the show. Anytime y'all see me somewhere, man, y'all can speak up. And if y'all want, like, say something. I'll be forgetting. I'll be wanting to take pictures, like, with y'all, like, you know what I'm saying? Take, like, a little picture and post it on our page and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I put y'all, if y'all want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all got to or nothing, but, I like the idea of that. Like, I like to put pictures of our fans up on the page and then stuff like that and show the people that show us some love, so. But once again, y'all, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Y'all topped my night off. Made it enjoyable. And I'm about to go close my eyes, but peace out. Y'all be safe out there.